Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. We're joined today by special guest Curtis Holland of Johnson City, Tennessee. He's a good friend of mine. We've been bladesmithing friends for a couple of years now, and he's joining us this week to build a takedown dagger, along with maybe some other stuff if we have the time. Yeah. But we're going to be jumping into it today, building some Damascus, hopefully getting a blade done. Let's get into it. So before we jump in, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. They're making all of this possible. Skillshare is an online video learning community that has over 25,000 courses and everything from business to photography to videography to art and painting and all that good stuff. And they're giving away 2 months of free premium membership to you guys. And after that, it's only $10 a month. It's a pretty good deal. So click the link in the description at the end of the video and let's jump in. Our first step is going to be working up a billet of Damascus. Not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll let you know along the way. We have 2 billets here. One of them is going into W's and one of them is going into straight laminate layers. So we let the pieces cool down and they're now ready to grind and restack. Kurt and I are gonna work at the same time on this, hopefully speed up the process a little bit. So I got all my pieces cut up. It's time to flatten them down. I'm gonna use the surface grinder attachment for our 2x48. Kurt's gonna cut up his pieces now that he ground off all of our stuff. And we'll catch up with you when we're ready to re-weld. So where we're at right now is I have a billet of W's here, and you guys are probably seeing right now some B-roll of that W's billet. Right now it's just C's, but when you stack it up, we have 8 layers of those right here. It gets this nice fiery look to it. It looks pretty cool. And Kurt's got his billet over here. Kurt, what you got going on?
This is linear Damascus, just about 50 layers, and we're gonna stretch it out, get it re-welded. It's restacked about 3 times. Actually exactly 3 times. And we're gonna re-weld it and get it into a bigger bar.
Awesome, let's do it. So I've got my billet here. I only ended up forging a little bit, about 6 inches or so to the final dimension. That's because I don't need a whole lot. This piece is going in between those 2 pieces that Kurt has here. We're gonna clean them up. We've only got to clean up one side on each of those, both sides on this. We're gonna slap it back together. And you'll see what's gonna happen when we take 2 pieces of that, twist them in opposing directions, and forge weld them back together. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
Alrighty, I'm back from the dead. Hopefully this time for good. How's it been going, guys? How was yesterday? Fill me in.
We've been having a good time.
Yeah, we forge welded a special billet of Damascus that we're going to forge weld again for our blade.
Where's the steel right now?
Yonder.
Over there yonder?
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Oh, more like the Ben Chattahoochee.
This is the stuff that we forged down to forge into this little bitty dagger. So we've got more than enough steel. Although what will happen is inevitably we're going to be actually having about this much steel because we got to get a twisting wrench on either side of this here. One side needs to be in the vise and one side is going to be on the twisting wrench. So that doesn't get twisted. It's not good steel for what we're wanting. So we're losing that. That's okay though. We still have way more steel than we need. It means we're going to be able to grind down nice and far, get some good pattern going.
Great. What's the next step?
Next step is
cut her off, twist her up?
Yes.
Genius. Genius.
You've done this before, haven't you? So we've got all of our pieces here, big and small. These are gonna be the dagger, these are gonna be the fighter. We're gonna clean up 3 sides on each of them and do a little bit of forge welding. So the pattern is really tight right now, but as we forge it out into a blade and we forge the bevels and stuff like that, it'll widen out a lot and you'll just be able to actually see what's going on. So that's gonna be nice. So we're also trying to figure out what to do about the whole maker's mark situation. A certain someone left his maker's mark at home.
Will.
He's having it mailed over, so hopefully we'll have it in time. But now it's time to tack these babies back together, throw them in the forge, give it a little squisharoo.
How's it going?
Yeah, we're getting there. Ready to cut what we call a fish mouth into the top of these billets. And that's basically taking the V out of the top and then folding it over and forge welding it back together. And that means that rather than those bars just abruptly ending, they have a nice flow to them and they curve back into each other, and it has a much more satisfying end to the pattern.
Very nice.
So that didn't go so hot. Kurt's did a lot better than mine. Mine just kind of smooshed past itself and just didn't stick at all. He got, looks like partial stickage. Weldage. I'm gonna recut mine. I think he can probably just take a bandsaw blade and cut down there. Probably the easiest way for him. I think I'm gonna have to redo that whole V shape and re-clean all of this stuff out. I'm gonna do it a little bit more subtle this time though, so we've got less to move before the actual welding happens. Hopefully do it right this time. All right, we got this thing forge welded. It's stuck pretty well together. I think we're gonna forge it down to about a 1/4 inch or so, and then what are we gonna do, Kurt?
And we're gonna get it forged. We're gonna get it surface ground and get the profile done and get bevels on it, and then heat treat it.
So it is the next morning now. We've pulled them out of the ovens. They've been completely annealed. Alec, what do you think?
I think they look fantastic. Really close to the drawings. You can see that pattern peeking through. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but guys, this is gonna look amazing. I hope you guys are getting ready to see what beautiful knives they make. That dagger, I love the design on that. It gives me a lot of thoughts of the Fairbairn Sykes fighting knives. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful shape of knife. Beautiful dagger. That knife cut. Oh! I think it's pretty.
Thank you.
It's pretty. It's got all his stylistic feel to it.
As well as Will's.
That's incredible.
I did mostly the handle. Kurt designed and forged the blade.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, it's great fun. It's great having you here, Kurt. Be sure, guys, check out his Instagram. This stuff's looking beautiful. Thank you, Will, for taking the helms on this video. We have our sponsor to thank, of course, which is Skillshare. So let's tell you a little bit about them. Skillshare is the online video learning community with over 25,000 courses and everything from business to photography to engineering to personal development. And the course that I want to recommend today is by Thomas Frank, and it's about that. It's called Real Productivity, How to Build Habits That Last, and it's all about making sure that we don't do what's all too easy to do when we want to set a goal, which is to strive towards that goal for a week and then dip back down to normalcy, forgetting or ignoring the fact that we had set the intention of following that goal through to its fruition. This is about building those lasting habits, and you can watch this for free with a 2-month free membership of Skillshare Premium when you hit my link in the description below. Skillshare Premium is usually just $10 a month, so enjoy it for free. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this. Check them out at the link in the description below. Thank you to Will and to Kurt for making such a great video. See you all very soon. Bye-bye.